Have you ever felt like you were just hitting a brick wall with an AI chatbot? You know, one minute it's useless, but the next it's actually surprisingly helpful? Well, the difference isn't just about the AI knowing the right answers. The real secret to making an AI smart is how it handles getting things wrong. So let's get into it.
Right? We have all been there. You ask what you think is a super simple question, and the AI just spits back something totally irrelevant. Or worse, just a flat, I don't understand. It is so frustrating because you know the information is probably in there somewhere. This isn't just a random bug, though. It's actually a fundamental challenge in how AI is designed.
So pretty much all of these frustrating moments, they boil down to two core problems. The first one is confusion, which is when the AI isn't really sure what you're even asking. And the second one is the dead end, where it understands you perfectly, but still comes up totally empty. A truly resilient AI has to be built to handle both of these scenarios.
Okay, let's tackle that first hurdle, confusion. In the world of AI design, this is what's known as the ambiguity problem. And really, it's all about the messy, imprecise, and kind of chaotic way we humans talk.
So what is ambiguity really? It's when your question could mean a bunch of different things all at once. The AI has to make a choice, right? And if it chooses wrong, the whole conversation just goes completely off the rails. This is second nature for us, but for a machine, it's a huge, huge challenge.
Let's look at a real-world example. This question seems so straightforward, doesn't it? Can you tell me about the new software update? I'm sure you've asked something almost exactly like this before. But to an AI, this question is an absolute minefield. Think about it. That simple question could mean so many things. Are you a developer who's looking for the super technical release notes? Or are you a regular user whose app just crashed and you need support like right now? Or maybe you just saw an ad and you want the flashy marketing announcement. Every single one of those is a completely different request, a different intent, and each one needs a totally different answer.
So, how does a well-built AI actually navigate this mess? Well, it doesn't just guess. It has a specific set of tools, a toolkit, really, that it can use to resolve all this confusion and figure out what you actually want.
A great way to think about this is to picture a really helpful librarian. You know, if you walk up and say, hey, I'm looking for a book on bridges, they're not just going to hand you a random book. They'll ask you questions to narrow it down, like, are you interested in the engineering side, the history, or maybe you're looking for famous bridges in art? A smart AI does the exact same thing, just with a digital toolkit.
And here are the main strategies in that toolkit. First up, and this is the most common one, is the clarification prompt. The AI just asks you what you mean. Simple enough. Second, it can use prioritization rules. So for example, a company might program its AI to always check if it's a support issue first before anything else. And third, there's something called multi-intent routing. This is where the AI fetches all the possible answers and then tries to rank the very best one for you. The key is, a good AI doesn't have to just guess. It's got options. Okay, so that's how a smart AI handles being confused. But what about that second big problem? What happens when the AI understands you perfectly, but it still can't help? This is what we call hitting a digital dead end. Yeah, imagine you ask a very specific, totally clear question. The AI knows exactly what you're looking for. It searches its entire knowledge base and nothing. This is the challenge of failure. Now, a poorly designed AI will just give up. But a smart one, it has a recovery plan. Here's a perfect example. You're shopping online. You search for blue shoes, size 10. The AI understands every single word of that. But let's say they're just out of stock. A frustrating system would just say, 0 results found, game over. But a helpful one knows this is just the beginning of the conversation.
And this is where something called fallback strategies comes into play. You can think of these as the AI's contingency plans. When plan A, which is finding exactly what you asked for, completely fails, it has a whole sequence of backup plans ready to go.
And here's what that recovery plan looks like in action. First, it might check a secondary source, like a different database. No luck, it broadens the search. This is called query relaxation. It drops size 10 and just looks for blue shoes. Still nothing? Okay, now it offers proactive suggestions like, hey, we don't have blue, but we do have black and brown in your size. And if all of that fails, the ultimate fallback is human escalation, a really easy way to connect you with a real person. The goal is to never ever leave you at a dead end.
So let's just put it all together. We've seen two big problems here. The first is ambiguity, when there are too many possible meanings. The goal there is to figure out the user's true intent. The second is failure, when there is zero good answers. And the goal in that case is to find a helpful alternative path, so you're never left stuck.
When you start to see all of this together, it really changes how we should think about what makes an AI smart in the first place. It's not just about having a ton of raw knowledge.
You know, the source material for this whole explainer puts it perfectly. A system that knows what to do when it doesn't know the answer is often more valuable than one that only works in ideal conditions. And that, right there, is really the core philosophy behind building a truly helpful AI.
So, the real takeaway here is this. Intelligence, whether it's human or artificial, isn't about being perfect. It's about being resilient. It's about gracefully bouncing back from confusion and failure, and always finding a helpful way to move forward. That's what separates a frustrating machine from a genuinely useful partner.
And that kind of leaves us with a final thought to chew on. The next time an AI asks you a clarifying question or suggests something related instead of what you actually asked for, you'll know exactly what's happening. It's not just a dumb machine, it's a resilient system that's actively trying to avoid leaving you at a dead end. So, is that moment of confusion a bug in the system, or is it actually one of its most important features?